Good day, guys. Austin here, and in this one today, we're doing a bit of NESica X Living. Now, what this is exactly what you can see on your screen now. It's a front-end stroke GUI or whatever it is that can unleash the fury of all these arcade games that you can see on your system. So you just click on it, it boots the game, and you can play it in its full entirety. Now, I'm going to go into a bit more detail in the actual GUMP for this video, but trust me guys, this is absolutely awesome. Recently, the most latest and most advanced arcade games were dumped onto the entire world. It uses a GUI or a front end, it uses an online system identical, almost identical to what you can see before you now. This has just been recreated by 80R Fate or 80 Fate. Sorry mate, I can't pronounce your name. I should have asked for your name pronunciation before I made this video. But you get the gist. I'll put links in the description down below for everybody involved, especially him. This is what he has made. It's absolutely awesome. It is nigh on perfect, if not better, than what you would get in the official arcades. Also, I'm going to give you a bit of a heads up as to how this all came about. So there is a bit of a few minutes history class as to why this happened. But once that's done, I will then finally show you how to get all this set up and get this working on your PC. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in. Okay, so the NESica X Live system then. This is still very much live. Please take note of that word, live. This is still in arcades, albeit over in Japan. As far as I'm aware, it's not been patched to work anywhere else. This, however, is still live over in Japan. It can be connected to the internet and you can download all the games you want and do everything as long as you pay Taito your subscription. Now, the way this works is it's an online arcade. You don't play the games online, but everything is accessed from online. Gone are the days where you had just one board inside your arcade cabinet. Now, inside modern arcade cabinets, you've got a PC. Now, Taito released the Taito Type X machines. Now, these come in various different levels of standards, but they've all got kind of the same thing going on. They're all a PC. Now, what this allows them to do is have multiple games on one PC, which you can switch and choose however you want. This then devolved into the NESica X Live system, where your PC would then be linked to the internet and you can download the latest games and a selection of games whenever you wish and choose. Patches can be pushed out and games can be updated whenever they are available. It's an awesome little system, but it doesn't come cheap. It is very expensive to run one of these machines. First off, you've got to fork out for the actual arcade cabinets. Normally these aren't sold in ones, you have to actually buy them in bulk, and then you have to buy an annual subscription, I believe. I got no idea of the cost, but trust me guys, the average Joe isn't going to have one of these sitting in his house. However, just like everything else in the world, these games have been downloaded, cracked, dumped, you name it. These games are accessible for the world to enjoy. However, these were under wraps and undercover for some time. People have actually had these playable for, let's say, longer than everybody expected. Now, the reason why these weren't made public is because the people who did this are enthusiasts of the scene and they respect everything that goes along with it. They know that Taito are still making money out of this franchise and their arcade cabinets, so on and so forth. So out of a mark of respect, they decided to keep this undercover until Taito moved on to their next stage of systems. Now, what happened was, one of the guys who was involved in the scene, this is as far as I've been told anyway, one of the guys that was involved in the scene, he decided that what he would do was try and make money out of it. So as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of people involved in there to get the games actually dumped and working, to get them up to the kind of standard where people can just play them on their systems. There's quite a lot of cogs in all the wheels. One of these cogs decided that he was going to make a quick buck. So what he did was he amalgamated all these games onto one drive. He then got a front end from somewhere else. In other words, the front end that we're going to be using now, he put them all onto one system. He hacked, slashed and did everything, put them all on there and made it so he could then sell those drives. Not give them away, not just help people, but actually sell these for profit. Now, as you can imagine, all the people that were involved in this were not happy. There are people that have done this for the love of everything to do with Taito, the games, all that kind of stuff. And to see these just leaked but leaked to the kind of standard where somebody's trying to make a quick buck and stab them in the back in the middle of doing so. It's not right. So this person, let's call him Jack in this scenario, he decided to make a buck, and well, the people were not happy, and this is why we're up to this stage where we're at now. Of course, I'm not saying this is right, wrong, justifiable, or whatever. I'm just giving you what I've been told from various different sources from their side. There is all different sides of this argument, and I would like to reiterate anybody's point of view. If they've got something to add, please get in touch and I'll tell the world all about the trepid tales of the Taito Type X Nessica series saga. Let's hope it continues. Anyway, guys, we're not here to hear me waffle on about the history and how all this come about. What you're actually here for is to see how to get this little front end set up so you can enjoy these games to their full potential. So without further ado, let's just get stuck in. Right then, guys, let's get this front end set up on our computers, PCs, arcade cabinets, wherever it is you want to put it. First off then, this is all done by ATR Fate. It's all his hard work. This has got nothing to do with me other than making this video for you guys. So all the hard work goes to him, and please show your thanks to him in the comments down below. Anyway, guys, in this video we're just going to get his front end up and running on your PCs, your arcade cabinets, wherever it is you want to put this. So first things first, go into the description down below. Within you'll find a link, more than likely to a mega site. I need you to download the file from there, end up on your computer, whatever it is you put it. You're going to need to uncompress, decompress, or extract, whatever it is the process you call it, because it's a compressed file. Now I use 7-zip to compress it, so I'd encourage you to use 7-zip to decompress it, extract, or whatever it is you call it. Anyway, finally, once all that's done, you'll end up with a folder similar, if not identical, to this one. Now within here is everything that you need to get this up and running. So let's have a look. First off then, all the fonts. This isn't rocket science. All these fonts are utilized within this theme, so you need all these fonts installed on your system so it looks tickety-boo. Without it, you'll probably end up with text that is unreadable. So ensure you go through all these fonts, install them, and then you're good to go. Next thing then, this is the front end itself. Go in that in just a second. And this is the, well, a README file that I put together. In here is all kinds of links that will aid you in your quest to find more information about this front end, if you do so wish, people involved in it, how it's come about, so on and so forth. It's an interesting peruse whilst going to bed or something like that. I don't know, just have a read anyway, guys. It's pertinent to you all. Anyway, now that's done, have a look at the Nessica X Live. Okay, this is the folder, which I think I've just put that file in. Yes, I have. How professional. Okay, this is the Nessica X Live, and this is everything that's within this front end that makes it work. Okay, first off then, you got the front end itself. This is based on the Attract mode builds. Now, when this guy was bootlegging these drives, he was actually utilizing the Attract mode front end, selling it as part of his drives, and using themes which he didn't really have permission for. So there's so many, I don't know, I'm just not into that kind of stuff. No permissions, licensing issues, all kinds of stuff. It's just harming the scene in general. Jesus wept. Anyway, it's based on Attract mode, an awesome front end, but in this case it's almost bastardized beyond recognition. When you boot this, you will not know that it's Attract mode stuff. In here then, the artwork folder, this is everything you need if you want to bastardize it yourself and change anything. He's included, Fate has included all the stuff that is needed to make this work. Now this front end, or this theme for the front end, was made some time ago, even before the Nessica dumps were made available to the public. And he had no idea that this was about to come. This was made for another alternative kind of set of games. I'll put links in the description down below as to where this came about on a thread and where it all originated. If it's too much for this video, but yeah, interesting read. And in the artwork folder is everything you need if you want to change it for your own setup. But trust me guys, if you're going to run this as we are intending now, everything is already done and included and set up thanks to ATR Fate yet again. Okay, in here is where you would put your games. And in here is Rocket Launcher. Now, Rocket Launcher is how it makes the games work. So Attract mode is the front end, all the bells and whistles that you see, and Rocket Launcher is actually the program which launches the arcade games themselves. So for those of you who've got experience with Attract mode, or especially Rocket Launcher, you could probably dive straight in here and start getting all your games up and running as they are. Like I said though guys, because I'm doing this before all the games are available, and especially because there's going to be a new launcher, which makes all this more simplified, it'd be pointless me showing you how to add this stage. At least now you get your hands on and you see what's about to come, and you can get stuck in if you want to do so on your own. Okay, finally then, let's get this front end up and running. Right, if we was to launch it from its current location, which is not in the root of a drive and currently on my desktop, let's have a look. It would give me art which is missing, as you can see. So I've got no wheels, the videos are all wrong, and it's not looking as it should be. If you've installed all your fonts and, let me get that over here, and you put it in the correct location, it should work straight out the box. So what this needs to be done is put into the root of a drive. Whatever it is you want to put it, doesn't matter which drive it is, as long as it's in the root of said drive. So let's exit out of Nessica. Now this is where you want to put it. So let's have a look at my computer. File structures. I would have put it in, let's say for example, my front end drives, because that's where all my front ends go. So I go into here. Now this is the root of my drive. This is the first location inside that drive, and as you can see, I've got all the different front ends already in there. Now for those keen-eyed amongst you, you'll already see that I've got Nessica X Live. That's because I'm not going to wait you sit here while I basically drag this folder into that folder. That's all you need to do to make this work, because it's now in the root of the drive and all the paths within that front end and launcher are all relative. It will work. If it's not in the root, then you'll end up with lots of errors like you've just seen. Right then, finally, now we're up to this stage. Nessica X Live and the attract mode front end should now work in all its glory. So first off, let's test it. There we go. Now we've got all the wheels. Now we can navigate using our arrow keys. Q is to change the artwork selection, whether it be the video, to the flyer for that game, to the actual start screen. Yeah. Jesus. Mind blanking. Okay, in the description down below is also a link to all the controls and all that kind of stuff. It's also included in there, but at least now you can get to grips with how it's working, and now we know it's working. What I want to do is make this more accessible for when we do start adding games. So what I'm going to do is click on this. This is the 32-bit version if you've got a 32-bit machine. If you've got the fully fledged 64 base, then right click, create shortcut. I'm going to put this into my Nessica X Live folder. So when I then go into my front ends, Nessica X Live, I can launch it straight from in there. What I also want to do, because I know I'm going to be adding games and configuring this a hell of a lot once I start this ball rolling, is go into my Rocket Launcher folder. Go into Rocket Launcher UI folder, not this application here, Rocket Launcher UI. And here is another application called UI, which is the user interface. This is where you configure it all. So what I want to do is make a shortcut for this also. Where's it gone? Create shortcut, there we go. Going blind. Okay, now what I want to do is put that into the root of the Nessica folder. So now I can configure it and I can launch it from this location without messing around with all the file structure within here. So it kind of makes it more streamlined and gives me less fudge factor, so nothing will go wrong. So that is now the front end set up on your system, and you can utilize this in any which way you see fit. You can utilize this on a original Tato Type X machine. You can utilize this on your arcade cabinets, on a PC, on another front end. You can launch into this front end from another front end. It's like Inception. It's completely standalone and will work independently from any other setup that you got going on, so nothing should theoretically complicate each other, even if you've already got Rocket Launcher set up. Thank you very much to Fate for making something like this. It's absolutely awesome what he's managed to do. Thank you very much to everybody in the scene. At least now you can get your front end up and running, and hopefully very soon I'll show you a video on how to get all your games up and running. Well, it's been a pleasure as always, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please do all the things that people normally do in this YouTube utopia where Nessica X Live gets bootlegged by bums trying to make a quick buck off other people's hard work. So, thank you very much, guys. Laters!